guys, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a music media type text effect on CapCut PC, and any of you guys can do this because this tutorial is completely 100% beginner friendly. So yeah, let's get started. So first, open up CapCut on your PC or on your phone, then go to text over here on the top left and drag the default text into your timeline. Now go to the font, and it should be set to system as a default font, but you're going to want to change that to Arial Regular. This is the font Music Media uses. Now let's go ahead and type some text. Hello. Alright, now for the glow, we're going to want to scroll down and select the glow effect, and instead of this glow, you're going to want to head over to the basic glow, which is right beside that. Let's click that and set the intensity to around 26 and the range to let's say 77 or 80, and then we can play around with the values a little later, but for now this is a good start. Shadow, I recommend using the default settings, but you could change it depending on how it appears on your video. So now let's go ahead and add the keyframes for the animation. So first, you're going to want to go up here and uncheck the uniform scale option. Let's go ahead and do that. Now create a keyframe for the scale height at the start over here. Let's create that, and then change it to around 161. That looks good. And then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames forward, and let's bring it back to 100. Alright, so now we have this pretty easy, pretty simple animation, and let's crop the text duration. Let's trim that, and then now let's add color to this. So we're gonna go ahead and click color. Let's make it red, and let's do the same for the glow. Keep in mind, whenever you change the color for the text, you also have to do it for the glow. Now let's go ahead and duplicate this text. Let's put that there, and then let's change this to a random word. Let's say yay. Let's make this blue this time. I think that blue looks good. So let's go ahead, copy this color code, and then go to the glow, and then change the glow by pasting in the earlier color code. There we go. Now we have the glow and the color to be blue. Now let's play this. Looks pretty basic, pretty decent so far. So now we're going to do something called syllables. So as you can see on my screen, Music Media does this effect, and they basically cut a word into two different parts. For example, the word hello would be HEL and then LO. I'll show you that. Let's take this same word, hello. I'll just copy paste it. Now for syllables, normally some people just prefer to select a certain part of the text and then change the text color, but when you change the text color, the red glow from the left hand side of the text still stays the same, and it doesn't look natural. And if you try to change that to white, it'll change the entire thing, so it just looks choppy and not that good. So we're going to do something a little complicated, so I recommend you listen carefully for this. So let's go ahead, and first we're going to set this entire text to just white. Make it white, and of course make the glow white as well. And now we're going to copy paste this so we have the same text layer on top. Now you're going to want to delete the L and O, because in hello the first syllable is HEL, and then now we have that. So let's align it with the previous text layer that we have underneath, and it should look something like that. Now let's go ahead and change this to red, and let's also change the glow to red. There, now it looks like that, but that's not all. We also have to do the same for this part. So let's duplicate hello again, and then let's paste it over. Is that, yeah. And then now let's click layer, and then let's cut off the HEL, because this is the second syllable in which it's just LO. So let's go here, put that there, And now let's delete this later. And there we go. We have the first syllable. Now we have to create the second syllable, in which the LO would be red and this HEL would be white. So let's go ahead and copy the previous two text layers and paste it right beside that. Now, since we already have that outline, we can simply just go ahead, click the LO, change the color to red, and then do the same for HEL, but this time we gotta change it to white. And of course we have to do the same for the glow settings, same for the red one. Let's make that red. And there we go. Now we have this simple animation. Now after this, you're going to want to export this. So top right, export. Let's make this hello. And let's export this. And let's make it 60 FPS to make it smooth. Hello. And yes, let's replace that. There we go. It has been exported. Now we're going to want to import that exported file we just did. So let's go to media and I'm going to drag it from my second screen. There we go. Now let's delete all of this and drag in our hello.mov. So there we have that. And now we're going to add the blur. So let's go to effects, search up vertical blur, and let's let it load for a sec. Alright, now we have a bunch of blurs, but this is the blur you want to take. So let's drag that down there and let's trim it. So we're going to have to do this manually. It's a long process, I know, but it'll be really good at the end. The result is amazing. So at the start, we're going to want to keyframe this to 100. And let's go 1, 2, 3 frames forward, and then let's make that 0. Actually, let's do 4 frames there. And then let's drag that like that. And then you got the animation, the vertical blur animation for your first word. Now you're going to want to copy this vertical blur effect. And on the timeline, you want to see where the next word starts. And that starts right here. So just slide that there. And then do the same for the next one. For hello, it starts right about there. So let's copy and paste that. And then let's do the same for the next syllable, which starts right here. Paste it. Now, this is what it should look like. Looks pretty good so far. And now let's export this at 60 FPS and let's see what the final result looks like.